Hey there, this one's all about my favorite seeder and how I use it. So I own two seeders. I have the Earthway and I have the Jang. Sorry if I don't pronounce that right, but that's just what I'm gonna call it. About both last year, there are lots of seeders on the market and I haven't tried any but these, so I'm just gonna talk about these. The Earthway is actually an awesome seeder and it's really cheap, and so it's very approachable for new farmers or even backyard gardeners and stuff like that. It's like 100 or 120 bucks. I'll leave a link in the description for that if you're interested. Comes with a variety of plates. It's pretty accurate. It's very simple and easy to use. It's just a little bit less precise, and the ground's got to be a little bit nicer prepped to use it. And so one thing I did when we started the farm was I did buy the Jang right even before I started, because I just saw how cool it was. But I don't want to hate on this guy. There's a lot of great farmers out there that are using this, and it does a fantastic job. I was using it for a couple things, but I've now completely switched over to using the Jang. So this is a great option for you guys starting out there, and it's available in a lot of different places. So Earthway is awesome. The Jang, which you've probably seen a lot of other people use, it's a little bit pricier. I think just the base machine is about $400, and then you got to get rollers and stuff like that. But I do really love it. The ground, it's a beast. Like, the ground, it doesn't have to be perfect, and it rips right through it, and it's very, very accurate. So a couple things on the Jang. It's gear driven. There's two gears in here, kind of like a bicycle wheel, and you can change those out. You can see them in there. You can change those out to get different spacings, and there's a code on the outside here that'll tell you that. And there's only a couple that I use, and I don't plant a huge variety of crops, so I don't wind up changing this too often. The other thing is this hopper, which comes out. It holds a lot of seed, and it's great. It just pops right in. This is completely mechanical, so there's no electricity or gas. You just push it and it goes. And you pop the top off here and put the seed in, and then it's really nice because the seed doesn't really fall out. The Earthway is just open on the top. And what else can I show you on here? On the bottom, it's all driven by the front wheel. So as you're walking, it's got a little furrow that opens up, the seed drops through, and then it presses it down with this little shoe, and then even a little bit more with the rear wheel. So some other features here, the handle on the top, you can adjust it left and right or up and down, which is kind of nice. It's just an awesome machine. I use it all the time. It's pretty much a necessity for me here at the farm. So let's get into some seeding, and I'll show you a couple little things that I do here, and I'll talk about some of the rollers and stuff like that too. Let's talk about the hopper, some of the rollers, some spacings and stuff like that. Now, I can't take credit for all this work. There's a lot of trial and error done by a lot of really great farmers. Like, I got a lot of this information from Curtis Stone, and he's gotten feedback from people. So a lot of this information can be found on the Paywall Co. website. They just list it on there, so it's not like I'm making this stuff up or giving anything away, because it's there, it's on the internet. So let's talk about this. There's a little thumb screw here that comes out. This rolls down, and then there's a pin here which you pull out, and a shaft with a gear. And these are the rollers, and they have different size holes and different number of holes. So for example, this is the X24, and the X is for the size of the hole, and 24 is how many holes. So more holes will put down more seed, and on the chart that's on there, that corresponds with the number of gears, and the gear ratio and the holes will give you different spacing. So some of the common ones that I use are X24. I have a couple rollers here, and I bought some that I didn't really like, but the X24, the F24, the LJ24, and the YYJ24. So some of the standard crops that I grow here, arugula, I use the X24 with 11 in the front and 13 in the back. I have a cheat sheet here I'm reading off of because I can never remember anything. Baby kale, I'm using the F24, 14 in the front, 9 in the back. Spinach is the LJ24 with 14 in the front and 9 in the back. And the other thing is there's this little brush here that pushes against the roller, and you can go up or down. See that? So for spinach, you want it up, and that's because the seeds are really big and they need to be able to fit through there. And then the last thing is I do use the YYJ24, but right now I'm just using it for sorrel. I think you can use it for a few other things, but those are the 4 that I use, and they're like 25 bucks a piece. I think there's sets you can buy. Just need what you plant. You don't need to buy all of them, and you can buy them as you needed. So we'll pop in, we're gonna do some arugula first, so we're gonna pop in the X24 and we'll start seeding. Got the roller and the gear set up for arugula, so we're just gonna pour some arugula seed in the hopper, put the lid on, grab the Jang, pop in the hopper, and that's it. Start seeding. One thing I always like to do is to just pick it up and roll the front wheel and make sure that I see seed coming out. And that way I know that the gears are working and the gear is inside the chain, and it's just everything's working all right. So it's a good thing to check that before you go. Otherwise, you can seed the bed and seeds don't come out, and then you wonder why seeds never came up, and that's because none went in the ground. All right, I got you guys strapped on the Jang, so let's see if this looks cool. Now we're doing arugula, and I do that as 9 rows per bed, and there's a lot of different approaches in how you go up and down. Now it's nice to like do the ends, the middle, and then sort of split differences and stuff like that, but with 9 rows I just have found that on the 30-inch bed that I use, you just go as close to each other as possible and just work from one side to the next, and it just works out to 9. Now that's just what works for me. You got to try a few different techniques. So here we go, and you know, it's nice, again, as I said in other videos, it's nice to have string lines. I don't do this every time I plant, but I just getting these beds going, so it's nice to have. So the string line will help you get really really straight. So here we go. You literally just walk it down the line and it's dropping seed. It's really this easy. You can walk a little bit faster, and it won't really affect how it gets planted, but oop, got my string caught. There you go. All right, turn it around. Now, what I meant is you can see in front of, there's the track which I went over, and so what I do on the second pass, I just aim the front wheel to go over the left, that left edge of that, the first path here. So if you can see, hopefully you can see in this image here, I just run over the left edge of that first pass over the, and I put the front wheel, I just aim the front wheel over that, and I just go up and down, and it works out to 9 rows for me, and I don't have to worry about, did I do this row, did I do that row, and all that kind of stuff. Oops, sorry, that was super bouncy. Yeah, but you can see now I'm starting over here, do the same thing. As long as you get your first one straight, the rest of them will be straight. All right, there you go, that's all done. So 9 rows, it always comes out even for me. I just, when I'm doing ends and middle and splitting differences, I just get lost track of where I am. So if I just work from one side to the other, it just comes out pretty even. I've had really good luck with that. Again, this may not work for you, this just seems to work for me. So give it a try, do some experimenting, you'll figure out what you like. Just want to show you a gear changeover. So we were doing arugula, now we're gonna do some spinach. So we take out these little screws. There's little washers on here you don't want to lose. Take off the cover. This was the spacing for the arugula, 11 in the front, 13 in the back. Bring out my other gears. We're gonna do 14 in the front, 9 in the back. So we put those in the chain, and just found a couple of things to make this a little bit easier. First of all, this is really awkward for me because I usually do it from the other side, but I wanted to do it for you to show you guys. Put the front gear on. This little spring sort of holds it in place. And then do this without the hopper on, because that way you can easily move this back guy right here to make it line up. So you can just move this back and forth, get it to line up, and you're good to go. Put the cover back on, put the screws in. So it takes a minute, but you know, if you're doing a lot at once, you can sort of be more strategic about which ones you do when, and maybe less changing over. But that's it. There's a million different variations here and combinations to get you what you're looking for. Time to seed some spinach. I'm gonna do this in 5 rows, so I'm gonna do this pattern a little bit differently. I'll do the outside 2, the middle 2, and then I'll split the difference, so check that out. There it is, 5 rows, nice and sweet and even. Anyways, just want to share this information with you guys, how much I love the Jang seeder, some little tips I can give you, some information I've gathered from elsewhere, but I just want to put it together so you can take a look, or maybe you're interested in getting the Jang, or I don't know, just some ideas, and hopefully you found this useful. So now you guys know what to do. Make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Anyways, have a great day, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.